We shift focus now to Lisa Curtis, who's joining us live, Senior Fellow and Director of the Indo-Pacific Security Program at the Center for a New American Security. Ms. Curtis, really appreciate your time and thank you for your patience. How significant is this visit of Prime Minister Modi within a month, less than a month of Donald Trump's second presidency?
Well, I think it's a very significant visit, and it's notable that the visit is happening, like you said, only 3 weeks into the Trump administration. During the first Trump administration, Modi visited the White House after 6 months after Trump took power. So this is quite significant. He'll be the fourth foreign leader to visit the White House. And, you know, there have already been a lot of steps taken by Prime Minister Modi to set a positive tone for the meeting. He's already announced reductions in tariffs. He has talked about importing more oil and gas from the United States. So we already see a lot of activity happening, and it sounds like we're headed for a quite substantive meeting. This is not just a courtesy call or, you know, establishing rapport type of meeting. This is more about getting things done and getting the U.S.-India relationship off to a good start. So I'm quite pleased with the things that I'm hearing are likely to come out of the meeting. Things like a commitment to a fast-track trade negotiation, commitment to issuing a new defense framework between the two countries. So I think we can expect quite a few announcements. There will be, tension over the trade issue, that's for sure. But I think overall, it's likely to be a very positive visit.
Okay, Ms. Curtis, I'm going to come to the issue of tariffs in just a bit. But as a security expert yourself, there are two crucial meetings. One has happened already, and one which will happen in the next few minutes. First, the meeting with, the U.S. Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, which happened within hours of Prime Minister Modi's arrival in Washington, D.C. Another meeting which will happen with Michael Waltz, another important person in the entire security apparatus. India's concerns are there very much on the table. They want a clear departure from what was Joe Biden's administration's view vis-a-vis the Khalistani extremism, and also one of the issues with regards to the extradition of the Havorana. Do you think two critical meetings of this nature, both from intelligence and security apparatus, show that the direction in which the intelligence sharing is likely?
Well, I think both Tulsi Gabbard and Michael Waltz have been supportive, strong supporters of the U.S.-India relationship. I think, Tulsi Gabbard, having just been confirmed in her position, she will engage or has engaged with Prime Minister Modi on some of these issues, but, she is brand new to the position. So I don't know how substantive the meeting was, but certainly he would have heard a very sympathetic voice for the U.S.-India relationship from Tulsi Gabbard, and probably a sympathetic voice when it comes to the Khalistani issue. So I'm sure that Prime Minister Modi was probably heartened by his meeting with Tulsi Gabbard on these issues. With Michael Waltz, I think the conversation will probably be broader, more strategic. Michael Waltz has been somebody who's been very focused on competition with China and making sure that the U.S. Is in a good place when it comes to competing with China. He takes that very seriously. And so his discussions with Prime Minister Modi will probably focus more broadly on what the U.S. and India can do together to counter Chinese influence, to counter Chinese bullying of its neighbors, and looking at ways they can engage on technology so that both countries can engage in the technology race with China effectively. So I think, we can definitely expect that the upcoming meeting with Waltz will be very positive, and it sounds like the meeting with Tulsi Gabbard went very well as well. So yes, these are both important meetings for Prime Minister Modi, and he would have had good discussions on the Khalistani issue, likely with Tulsi Gabbard. But with Mike Waltz, it's likely to be a much more strategic focus and with China in that conversation.
Okay, let's shift focus to another vexed issue with regards to tariffs. Even as Prime Minister arrived there, the White House spokesperson said that White House sincerely believes in reciprocal tariff, and the president is on the verge of signing it. But we have seen how Donald Trump uses tariff more as a political tool. He has been speaking about India in the context of it being a tariff king, but when it comes to real action, that hasn't really happened. Do you think Prime Minister Modi will, having visited so early, it's also very preemptive in his move in realizing how tariff can become one of the points of conflicts and tension between the two nations, and hence it has to be addressed immediately?
Well, definitely, Trump uses tariffs as a negotiating tool. That's clear. And I remember in the first Trump administration, before Trump would meet with Modi, 24, 48 hours ahead of that, he would tweet something out about India's high tariffs. So it was really a negotiating tactic that he used. So this announcement of reciprocal tariffs, fair trade, that's going to be announced in an hour or two. Yes, I think this is a tactic where, he's setting out U.S. demands, demanding fair trade. Modi is coming into the meeting having already announced some tariff reductions. I don't think these will be enough for President Trump, but they're both setting the stage for engaging in a trade negotiation. And my understanding is that they will, in fact, announce a fast-track trade negotiation. So what really will matter is what happens in the next 6 months. Will they be able to make a trade deal that they frankly weren't able to do in Trump's first term? So that's really when the hard work is going to start. But I think right now they're both trying to set the terms of that negotiation. And some of what Modi has done will be helpful, but it won't be enough. I think this time around, the expectation is that India will lower tariffs in a substantial way, will seek to reduce the trade deficit with the United States in very significant ways. And so really the pressure is on India in this moment. And, let's see what happens in a few hours.
Okay. And Ms. Curtis, a series of meetings lined up for today, which also includes Elon Musk calling on Prime Minister Modi. He is, of course, overseeing this entire Department of Government Efficiency. And only yesterday he spoke about restoring democracy and said that there is a need for ensuring that government functioning moves away from what he sees bureaucracy-driven to more driven by people. That meeting, are you expecting something substantive to come out of it as well? And let's not forget that, there has been that meeting which has happened with Elon Musk and Prime Minister Modi in 2015 as well. So they have met a number of times. Prime Minister Modi also visited his Tesla facility in San Jose in 2015. So there has been that connect. But both the leaders have traveled quite a journey in the last 10 years.
Well, yes, it's not surprising that Modi would want to meet with Elon Musk. He has a relationship with him. I'm sure they'll have wide-ranging discussions on, technology, the future of technology, ways to cooperate. Modi may spotlight some of his own initiatives that he has done in India. So I think, it's likely to be a wide-ranging meeting. One thing I would hope that Modi might raise the issue of U.S. foreign assistance, Not that India itself receives a great deal of U.S. foreign assistance, but I think Prime Minister Modi is somebody who would understand the importance of U.S. foreign assistance to the rest of the South Asia region in terms of maintaining stability and encouraging economic development. I'm sure this is something that is of concern to Modi. If the U.S. cuts off foreign assistance to the region around India, that could lead to more instability, and it also opens the door for China. China can do more of its Belt and Road initiatives, which have been threatening to India. China's been investing in ports in surrounding countries like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and also infrastructure projects that are giving China more influence on India's periphery. So my hope would be that Modi might raise this issue and tell Elon Musk how important U.S. assistance has been in maintaining stability and keeping Chinese influence out of South Asia.
All right.